Marty Lockhart here. First time for St. Pat's to be in the MacRory final since 2020 when the final didn't go ahead obviously because of COVID. So I'm sure you are especially looking forward to this one.
Okay, listen, it's nice to get to the final now in fairness here. So, but I mean, our lads have worked very hard all year. So a wee bit of fortune we've got to the final now in fairness. So, but we're just happy to be back. Happy to be back.
At the start of the year, did you sense that there was a run in this team?
To be honest, when you gauge up through the school, they weren't strong up through the school. Like say, second year, third year's COVID, fourth year, fifth year, they never got past about quarter final.
Okay.
So I mean, so they weren't a strong team. But I mean, they come on this year and they've showed good determination, and they've worked very, very hard now over Christmas now. So I mean, listen, we're just happy to be back. So because last year's team would have been seen as probably so much better a team, a strong team last year, and they got caught last year in the quarter final. Whereas our lads there, they got through the quarter final this year, got through the semi final, and now in the final. So
who we got in the quarter final last year?
It was St Mary's Marfeld Common last year.
Okay. Oh, it was a very tight game. I remember seeing the tweets.
Derby game.
I remember seeing the
so
tweets.
we played them this year again in the quarter final. So, but it's kind of like deja vu, But
you finished very strongly in that game, didn't you?
In fairness, there's nothing between the two sides. They're a fantastic side, and they dominated the match for long periods. But our lads finished the match well the last 10 minutes now, in fairness. So, but it was a nail-biting match. But
do you always help lead the MacRory teams? Because I know schools have different arrangements for these things.
Oh no. Well, in our school, you take it for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then you change over. So Paul Hughes, he retired there last year. So me and Paul took it for a couple of years, and then having Colm Laver took it last year. So this year we've got Willie McAteer, myself, and then Christian McKeegs and helping out, and a fella called Ollie Cummins and Tiernan McHugh. So we've got a good team there. Good team. So.
Are you still in regular enough communication with Paul? I'm sure he's taking a big interest.
I got a big hug after the last match up there in Derry. So no, hey, Paul's a gentleman, and I just like to say this opportunity. He's done so much for our school. He's put us on the map. From the point of view, and he does so much work. He's like an unsung hero in our school. And we all miss him.
I suppose someone you must take pride in. It's such a great feeder school as well, at inter-county level, and all these lads will hopefully go on to start at inter-county level.
You do, but you have to give credit to the club. The clubs run around South Day and North Day have put on a lot of work, and then the lads come to our school, so we're just kind of like adding value to what they're doing. So you have to give credit to them. So as you say, county, like a lot of our lads do go on and represent the county. They definitely do. So, but hey, listen, that's nice to see it. It's nice.
Abbey in the final. I suppose one of the things about this Abbey team, there's so many four rosters lads who've been playing alongside each other. They know each other inside out. They must have a bit of telepathy at this stage.
That's a big plus to them. And you have to give them credit because they won the All Ireland last year in MacLarnon. And they've won 2 Ulster minor titles, and they know each other inside out. So hey, listen, they're there. You've got to give them respect because they're there in merit. They've earned their way there. So in fairness,
I'm sure because of Four Masters' success, it has probably been at least on your radar a little bit in recent years. It's been hard to avoid the fact that it's been doing so well.
How we gauge this, our own county there was Marfeld won the minor title in our county this year, right? And then they played Four Masters in the final, and Four Masters beat them. So you have to stand up and say, hey, listen, they're a good team. They've good players. They're blessed with good players now.
The semi-final, very low scoring affair. What exactly was that game like? I know Derry Loughlin came in one day to play the best of times.
To say it was one day is probably an understatement. So an old man beside us, he says you wouldn't put milk bottles a day like that. Swear to God, because it was so windy, so wet. But I mean, it had to be played. But
it ruined the game.
Because you had 2 good teams there, and the final score was like not 5 to go. So as a spectacle, it wasn't nice, But we showed good battling qualities, and we showed good character. We dug deep, we defended well, and we come out in the end, thank God.
I suppose when I think that St. Pat's is such a rich history, it's easy to think, St. Pat's probably feel like they belong in MacRory Cup finals, but that isn't. I assume that probably isn't really the case.
I think in years gone by that wouldn't be the case because you maybe two or three schools, were very dominant. This year you've 18 schools playing MacRory, and let's be honest, any one of 12 of those schools could win MacRory this year. So that's the fact that we're still doing the work, but other schools are doing the same amount of work. So it's become very competitive, which is good to see. It's good to see, but the years of maybe having St. Pat's in the final every year like that's not going to happen. Hopefully.
Did you go to St. Pat's?
I played in a MacRory final in 1983. We lost at the Commons. I played in 94. We won against Armagh, and I played in 1985 as captain 30 years ago, and we beat St. Commons.
So you played 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
Oh, brilliant!
I was captain 30 years ago.
So you have a lot of happy memories there.
Well, some bad ones too.
Who else was it? Was there any other lads in that team who would have started for Derry?
I'm trying to think back. like, not really, no. Well, young lad, Adrian McGuckin, young Adrian McGuckin played. A lot of lads who played, we won the under 21 All Ireland 1987. A lot of boys played then. But some lads didn't make it through. No, in fairness, there wouldn't have been too many. I can't really think,
No, you're right. Do you feel like playing schools football at a high level, it helps bring lads on, even in terms of their personal development, being part of a team and showing leadership and all those things?
Okay, without a doubt. In our school there, it's like our foundations are discipline, a wee bit of humility and just hard work, and that. And those lessons are very important in life when you go out into life. So, and lads have to come in there, and if they join part of a team, do what they're told, playing a system, and just work hard for what you've got. And here, listen, I can't see any disadvantages. It's all very good for their preparation for life, definitely. So
it's a final one, lads. It's in Celtic Park, is it? Is that where it's for?
I heard today it's going to be Celtic Park, 3 o'clock.
Okay, well, I know it's Derry, but it's very close to Donegal.
No, it's on the border.
Yeah, it's probably closer to Donegal.
It is. So here, listen, we don't mind. So it's good too, because there's no point taking Derry people and Donegal people up to Armagh, even though Armagh is a good pitch, but it makes sense. So.
Turlock, I suppose a special occasion in the school's history is coming up, first ever MacRory Cup final. I'm sure you and the brace of lads and the management and the school itself are really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, there's a real buzz about the school at the moment. We're really looking forward to the game and just meeting all the boys here involved with it. I'm starting to realise how big of a game this is, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's been a hell of a journey for Abby. Vocational was last year, won the first ever MacLarnon and Paddy Drummond and whatnot, and a year later you're in the biggest one of all. Tell me a little bit about the journey the team has been on.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just the fact that we were able to win the MacLarnon Cup, we didn't expect anything of it last year, but I mean the fact that we were able to take more younger players in and still be able to compete at the highest level. And again, we came into the MacRory Cup on our journey. We weren't expecting much. We were looking to compete well and try and make it out of our group stage. But obviously, we learnt after our first game that we were well able for it. So kicked on from then.
Who was that first game against?
It was against St Patrick's and Dungannon. We weren't expecting much. They were the finalists of the year previous. So. We weren't expecting much, but we went up and we played a really good game against them, and then we started believing from then.
Yeah, I suppose it's those wins against likes of St Pat's and St Coleman's and whatever else that really do show you that it's just a game of football at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how much teams have done in the past.
Yeah, exactly. They're big name clubs and everything, but we were well able to compete with them.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. I think you're one of a hell of a lot of Four Masters lads.
Yeah, a lot of Four Masters lads in the team. Yeah, I love my club obviously, and I just enjoy playing with the lads, and that's part of the reason why this MacRory Cup team is doing so well, because we all know each other so well. Been playing with each other for so long with Four Masters.
Well, that's the thing. He's been probably playing with each other since under 12 level and things like that.
Even younger, yeah.
Yeah. How come what's the secret of Four Masters' success in the last number of years? Is it just good coaching and good buy-in?
It's just been everyone's bought into the plan. We've been very well coached, and there's a lot of people involved with the club throughout our development, because they seen the potential in the young players. So.
Was it just a matter of getting the potential? Because I'd imagine it's probably a decent enough catchment area. Is it only now that you feel like you're probably reaching your potential as a club and getting there, if you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It's been a really good journey. We've seen the potential since we were young, so they came in, they coached us very well and leading us up. Obviously, we've won loads. We've won many tournaments as underage teams, but we'll be looking to kick it on now into the senior team and win many senior club titles.
Obviously, a lot of talk about Four Masters, but there's a few other lads in the team as well.
Oh yeah, of course. No, they all play a big part in the team. Especially the two Neve Breeds men. They're playing very well for us. They're Oisin Brogan and Owen Gallagher. They both had a stormer in the semi-final there. And the likes of Kevin Rose and the man from St Knowles, they all count. They're all pushing us on in training and everything. So
I suppose part of the challenge here is to make sure that you perform to your potential on the big day. It isn't always a given, but I'm sure the likes of Stuart there will keep you grounded.
Yeah, of course. It's all looking forward to this big day, and we'll be well prepared. So.
And what do you make of St Pat's Mahara? I suppose they're a school with a lot of history, just like the other ones you mentioned earlier in the conversation.
Yeah, another big school, but look, we've proven that we can beat the big schools, so we watched their game. Obviously their semi-final was a hard enough watch, but that probably doesn't reflect on what sort of team they are because of the conditions obviously that day. But no, we're looking forward to a good test again.
And it was good to come through that, I suppose, that big all Donegal semi-final,
Yeah.
South-West Donegal, a little bit different than
Yeah,
yourself.
no,
He's got the better in him anyway.
Yeah, that was a lovely game to play,
Yeah.
to be able to beat them. A sweet one.
I'm sure you're very excited, but at the same time, you're carrying on with your studies in the background and whatnot. What's it like in
I
school
know.
at the minute?
Yeah, no, we're all very busy. We've our mocks coming up now, starting on the 6th of February. So, well, we're very busy with training and everything. We just need to keep it going now for the next while, and then we'll get a good break after, hopefully.
Brilliant occasion, not just for the team, but for the school as a whole to be looking forward to first ever MacLarnon Cup final. And as you're saying earlier, we can measure the progress that the Dean is making and at all levels.
Yeah, look, listen, there's a great buzz about the school just after the game. Went back to school. It was also increased by the fact that our girls were in the under 16 final against Ulster, final against Academy. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, but I suppose that gives the boys centre stage. I suppose one positive for the Dean is that the last time we got to the Marquee final, we were sort of kind of overshadowed because we also had two other throwing teams. Oma won the MacRory that year and Donegal won the MacLarnon. So I think we're the last throwing team in the colleges at this stage. So it's a good boost for the school, but it'll only be a boost if we win it. We've had a tough journey to where we've got so far. The 4 section games and playoff game against St Mary's CBS. Then we had Lacal down Patrick, and then we had obviously St Pius is in the semi-final. So we haven't thought beyond that. It's been sort of one step at a time because it's new territory for us. But we'll start thinking about the final now and planning and back out to train tomorrow and get our feet back on the ground.
I know it's a different team now, but how important was that Marquee Cup final one in terms of showing what you can achieve?
It was very important because it's the first time that I suppose there's 3 big competitions at that age profile in Ulster colleges, and that was the Dean's first win of one of those 3 big competitions. So it was very important at the time. Some very good players there at the time, and some of those lads are still here. So even though the older players sort of carried the weight of responsibility for the Marquee Cup, we still have 5 or 6 lads who were 5th years then who cut their teeth in the Ulster competition, and it sort of familiarised them with the Ulster environment. And
so a few of those lads are in the team at the minute?
Yes,
okay.
4 or 5 lads that were 5th years back then who are now 7th years. So that was a very important stepping stone for them to the MacLarnon. But it was a steep learning curve for them last year in terms of the step up in standard, but they've sort of stabilised this year, and I suppose we've already exceeded their expectations, but we'll be wanting to go one step further.
Yeah, I suppose something, I was looking at the team sheet obviously the other night, and one thing at home, you just don't obviously pull in from a massive amount of clubs. It's that kind of core mid-throne area again.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, I suppose over the years we've pulled from a large number of clubs, but for other teams that in the past we would have Pomeroy, Carrickmore, Barra, MacRory, Greencastle, Kildress, Killyclahar, and some from Gorton as well. I think we might have actually one Ariel Kieran player a number of years back, but for this particular team we're drawn mostly from Carrickmore, MacRory, Greencastle, Pomeroy, and we've one lad from Barra, so it's that mid-Tyrone area. And it's good for the lads too, because it's the last opportunity they'll have to play with other good players from other clubs, because it'll be hot and heavy rivalry after that.
Patrician Carrick Macross, I saw that game against the Brothers last year.
Yes.
I assume quite a lot of those lads are still available, are they? Or is it?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked too closely at Carrick Macross yet, but I think it was actually 2 years ago. The first year the Brothers won the MacRory and then the Hogan, followed up with the Hogan. I think down in Monaghan that Carrick Macross pushed them very hard and maybe could have won the game, but Oma overcame them. But so Carrick Macross have been in MacRory traditionally, and they have had MacLarnon success as well. So there's no doubt that we're getting underdogs, but we're delighted to be there, and we'll be doing our best to win it, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, a lot of really talented players who down the line can maybe even make their mark with throwing. Like I saw Sean O'Tay playing with throw minors earlier here and lads like that.
We have quite a few players there with experience with throwing underage teams. I wouldn't start to name them because I would forget some of the lads, but you have a good selection who have experience of playing inter-county level, under 15, under 17, so that always helps. And you'll notice that those teams, successful teams at schools level, do have lads with a good bit of a county experience, and the school competitions don't faze them because they're used to playing that environment.
Could you just tell me a wee bit about the management team you have in over the end, obviously?
Well, listen, Enda's name is synonymous with schools football, first vocationals and now colleges football. He's been in the Dean 37 years now, so Enda needs no introduction. Very wise head, very organised. Very well respected by the lads. A great addition this year has been Keelan Slevin. Keelan is at Dromore, as you know. He's a newly qualified teacher. He's been subbing quite a bit in the Dean this year, but he's brought a serious new blood. New blood's always good. Serious level of energy and enthusiasm to it. And when you're managing any young team, it's very important to have somebody the players can relate to. So he's still playing for Dromore. He's only 24 years of age, maybe 25. So he's much more relatable to maybe than some of us are there quite a while. So he's been a very important addition this year, and it's been a serious boost for the school to have him.
Have you taught Dean more or less your entire teaching career?
I taught the Dean's the first school I taught in, apart from teaching practice, and I started there in 1993, and I've been teaching there since. So it's the only school I've ever taught in.
Has there been long stretches where the football scene wouldn't have been anywhere near as strong as it is now?
Well, we did compete quite well in vocational, but you know that now vocational and colleges are all combined. So, no, there was always a big effort going into the football in the Dean, but you didn't get an opportunity to compete in these competitions then because it was separate. But I suppose the Ulster schools, I suppose led by Seamus Woods, amalgamated the two competitions maybe 8 years ago. And that gave every school in Ulster basically the opportunity to compete at whatever level they were capable of, but it gives you the chance to move up through the ranks. So the big factor for the Dean is that you're getting the players, because no matter how many coaches you have, you still need players of the calibre that can compete at this level that we're at now, or Markey in the past, and who knows, possibly MacRory in the future, but you need the players. So what's happening is, I suppose, with the Dean, we have more parents sending their children to the Dean than happened previously.
What's the story behind that? The parents are opting for the Dean?
Well, I suppose it has to start academically, but if you look at the Dean when I started had probably between 350 and 400 pupils. Now it's now got 680, so it's kind of doubled in this last 30 years. So the first thing I suppose a parent wants in the school is that the child can maximise his full academic potential, whatever that may be, or whatever career path they want to follow. It may not be academic, it may be more vocational, but I suppose the first thing they want to see is that the child can maximise that. So that's I suppose the first stage in getting children to the Dean. And then I suppose when they see the results of the Dean and they say, right, there's a school that can deliver the academic side for my child. And then with developing the sporting side, they see the opportunity for their child to maximise their sporting potential as well, whatever that may be. So it's a combined effort. So it takes all the staff. It takes all the staff to create that environment where the child can maximise their potential academically. And it takes all the staff to make sure that they can maximise their potential sportingly. And it takes a lot of staff volunteering their free time to take the teams before, during, after school, whatever. And it's a big effort, but it's hopefully paying dividends. It takes a while. It takes a while for it to develop.
Just finally, Gavin, I'm sure there'll be a nice sense of buzz and expectation around the school.
There's been a great buzz in the school. The sport always brings a great buzz to any school, and it's a very important part of school life. Great memories for the children, even those who are not playing, those who are supporting. So there's a good buzz about it, and there'll be a build up to the final. I suppose it's just maybe trying to insulate the players slightly from that. You want them to enjoy it, but at the same time you want them to focus on what the main thing is, which is winning, because taking part's great, but you obviously want to get the title at the end of the day and take a Dean a step up to where possibly they're going to.
The captain came into the MacLarnon final. I'm sure you and the rest lads are really looking forward to it.
Yeah, really excited. It's our biggest achievement as a group together. So ready for the game, buzzing.
Yeah, no, I imagine so. I suppose in recent years, Patrician even been knocking the door at the MacRory level. Probably unfortunate at times not to progress. So there seems to be a good stream of lads coming through the school.
Yeah, at MacRory level we were competing very well. Last year, quarter-final knocked out in penalties, very unlucky. And the year before that, semi-final, bet by point by Oma, so good results in MacRory, but always a stream of lads coming from nutrition.
Were you part of those MacRory panels, were you?
Last year I was on the panel, yes.
Were you sub? Or
yeah, I was a sub, yeah.
Okay, I was up at that game at Galway, I think it was. He's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So just tell me a wee bit about your run to the final this year.
So first game of the season was against CBS Mary's in Belfast outside Armagh. It was a very comfortable win for us. We were set up tactically well and played together as a team very well. Then we played Aquinas Grammar in the next group game, and it was a bad day of weather that day, so I think it was 7-4, 7-3 the score, so a few points win there, comfortable enough, but happy to get another win. Then in quarter final we had a Castlewellan in the quarter final, we went down 4 points at half time after 2 sloppy goals we conceded. So lads second half gritted our teeth and we went out there and bet them comfortably then second half.
What about semi then, sir?
Semi-final we met Queenis again.
Okay.
Grandma. Yeah, we going in there probably as favourites, but we didn't let that get the better of us, and we had a comfortable win there Sunday against the Queenis.
Right. You come from a strong Monaghan club in Eskeen. I suppose they've been sort of knocking the door in recent years.
No, definitely knocking the door. I have 2 brothers starting on the senior panel, so.
Okay, here are those lads.
Shane and Christopher Hannity.
Oh, brilliant. So, is Oshin still over? He wasn't Oshin over here for a while, wasn't he?
No, Oshin was. He got to a semi-final in Clonus, but it's John McEntee and Tony Kernan over. So.
Okay, more
more cross lads.
They probably bring a lot into the club, just in terms of know-how,
I was a part of the senior team last year, and I felt really good insights, really good information from the lads. And in a few years' time, we'll be learning a lot off them.
I've spoken to John a couple of times. He's very civil, I find. He's civil. So tell me a wee bit about the management team and the position setup then.
Oh well, we have our principal, Mr. Rafferty, is our main coach, and he gives a lot of experience from a coaching perspective within the Patrician High School. He's been in numerous MacLarnon Cup finals and a part of numerous MacRory panels. So he's always keeping us steady and cool going into games and giving us a buck up when we need to. And then we have Mr. Finnegan and Mr. McEnany.
2 Dillons, aren't they?
2 Dillons, yeah. Both Cruff active players. So that adds a bit of a refreshing insight into the game. They're both patrician ex-sim players, so it's also they can convey their passion for the badge as well as us, because they've been in the same situations. Mr. Finnegan has a MacLarnon Cup, like it's for history repeating itself for them now.
Are you coming up against another throwing school just like a MacRory level in recent years? Someone different this time, but I'm sure these are only probably starting to learn about them in recent days.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about them now, and sure.
There's some good. I was at their semi-final up in Ownbeg. There's some good players, some good tidy forwards,
Yeah, sure. Look, we don't really worry about their performances too much, and we just keep our heads on our shoulders there and try and do as best as we can as a team.
I just find, have you captained any teams at club or schools level down the years, have you?
I've captained my minor team this year.
Oh, brilliant.
Or last year, may I say. So Enniskeen Grantons, yeah.
So you're happy enough to have the responsibility then?
It takes a learning curve nearly to be captain, but you just have to lead by example when you can and try and. Sometimes the lads don't like you, but you have to put up with that because it's best for the team.
That's 100%.